What's going on, guys? It's Crazy Dog here, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing the long-awaited Hisense dual-cell TV, which we know now has been confirmed to be the U9DG. Now, I have a full list of specifications to talk about, so I'm going to be looking kind of at my laptop a lot of the times, but I'll have like annotations floating around the screen as well. I recently attended the Hisense At Home press conference, and we learned a lot about the 2021 releases. This video specifically is going to cover exclusively the U9DG, but we will be discussing in another video some of the other releases that are going to be seen throughout 2021. Now, this is kind of all over the place. I was just taking notes, so my apology. This isn't really organized. We're just trying to get this information out as soon as possible, and we're going to be talking about what specifically is a dual cell TV in another video as well, because it's not necessarily first to market. It might be the first consumer release. This technology was, I believe, attempted previously, but this is the first time that we're gonna see it done right, and I, for one, am very excited. So to go over some of the specifications with the ULED dual cell TV, or the ULED XD, or what we know now is going to be confirmed as the U9DG in the Canadian market. Sizing of this panel, first and foremost, we're going to see this hit 75-inch, and so far this is the only sizing to be announced, and this should make a lot of people very happy, because over the last 2 years, specifically in the market that I'm in, which is Canada, we saw their top tier model being the Q9G last year and the Q9808 or Q9809 the year before max out at 65 inches. They did have some 75s. They were still good TVs. They're slightly lower end, but specifically for their top tier release, we did not see anything go over 65 inch. That size category was reserved for their laser TVs. So it's nice to see a 75 inch. And in the other videos that we're going to discuss sizing of the other panels, I actually have three other 75-inch panels to go over, one actually going up to 85. So that's very exciting as well if you guys don't want to get into a projector, but you want the biggest TV you can get. 85 inch is going to be crazy, but 75 inch for the U9DG is fantastic. Now, to my knowledge, they're not going mini LED this year. This is going to be powered by a full array local dimming backlit system. But what's insane is they are claiming 2 million backlit zones, which is astronomical. Again, we saw the Q9G last year maxing out 65 inch at, I believe, 180 zones. And then previous to that as well, we saw, I think, like 130 or 132 on the 65 inch. They had great contrast control, very little blooming, but it was there. And with 2 million backlit zones, we should see fantastic blacks, which is amazing. Contrast should be awesome, and they're actually saying that the native contrast is up to, follow all the zeros here, 150,000 to 1. And last year and the previous models, and actually some of the other models this year, we're seeing like 5,000 to 1, so 150,000 to 1 is just, again, it's insane. I don't have a lot of words for it. This is information that I myself am still trying to take in, so really good stuff there. This will be a true 120 hertz panel as well. Some rumors actually said that it would be potentially going up to 144. I haven't seen anything official so far. We have been made aware that it will be a 120 hertz panel. Now, to skip ahead in the specification notes that I have here, we can confirm that this TV, along with a large variety of the other 2021 releases, have been confirmed to be manufactured with HDMI 2.1 compliance. So as we go down, we're going to talk about all the benefits with that. This is something that we've been waiting to see for a very long time, But one thing that we're gonna see with that compliance is some new HDR processing. So we're getting the Dolby Vision IQ standard. We're also getting the before used HDR10 Plus, and then again, HLG. So some really good codecs or processing methodologies that they're gonna have the opportunity to use. And that again, with the 2 million backlit zones, we've got all that crazy contrast. And then peak brightness is going to be up to 1,000 nits. If it's anything like last year, 1,000 is like the base ballpark proven. The panel right behind me, that is the Q9G from last year, and that's been measured up to like 1,400 nits, even though it was only set to be like that guaranteed 1,000. So I can safely assume we're gonna see something very similar with the U9DG, but again, on paper, we're looking at peak brightness at up to 1,000 nits. Now, of course, this will upconvert. This does have Dolby Vision. This does have that automatic light sensor as well. So all things that we've seen them utilize in the past. Now, I don't know what smart TV OS this will be running. Maybe I missed that. Maybe it wasn't in the specification sheet that they had shown during the event. I know that a lot of the other ones are going Android TV and are going Roku, but I can confirm that we do have, you know, Netflix and kind of all of that stuff that we need baked into this TV. Far field microphone, we're seeing that return on this panel as well as some other models. That was utilized first, I guess, in 2020 with the Q9G again that we see behind me, the H9G in the US markets. It will have game mode, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit more as well. It does have an audio equalizer. For the picture modes, it has been confirmed to have the presets of Vivid, Standard, Energy Saving, Game Mode, Sports, Theater, Day, Theater Night, and Filmmaker. And Filmmaker is something new that I'm seeing again across most of the product lineups this year, something that they did not have previously. So I'm pretty excited. I would assume that that's gonna be something that's gonna be more easily calibrated for us. Viewing angles, 178 degrees, that's really across the board. So safe to assume this is going to be a VA panel like they've been using across most of their product lineup for the last little while. Does have Google Assistant built in. Here we do see, it does have Android TV. So that will be the Smart OS, Alexa certified, voice controlled, DLNA certified. It has your built-in casting. Audio enhancement. So it does have Dolby Atmos. It does have IMAX enhanced. And that's something that's not across all the product lineup this year. So that's really neat. And it's Wi-Fi ready. So WISA ready. WISA? I don't know what that is. Maybe we'll take a look and maybe annotate it if I can figure that out. But I find most of that stuff doesn't matter to a whole lot of people. It does have a built-in media player, design language on this. So they are going with that bezel-less display that, again, we did see behind us on the Q9G, H9G, across the Q8, H8, and then going to even the 2019 release as well. And that's really nice. I hope that I can get my hands on one of these closer to release or after release if my local market happens to have them. I'm in New Brunswick. Pandemic is crazy, so fingers crossed that I can cover that for you guys. But the bezel-less display has been a staple of theirs in their higher end TVs for a little while, and I, for one, am totally behind it. VESA mounting, this is gonna have 600mm to 400mm, so slightly different. Most of the other ones are kind of a more standardized format, but this is a 75, and to my knowledge, it's probably gonna be rather heavy given that it's a dual cell or a dual layer TV. So set your expectations accordingly. I don't believe I have weight kind of calculated in this formula here, but when I know more, maybe I'll put it in the description as well. The remote, we don't really need to talk about that. Does have Bluetooth, does have a headphone jack. We are looking at all 4 HDMI ports are going to be HDMI 2.1, which is fantastic. So for those of you who may have an Apple TV 4K that's launching at the end of May, if you have an Xbox One X, if your Series X, I should say, if you have a PlayStation 5, if you have all of that stuff, we're not in the proper spacing yet for audio video receivers to have a large plethora of HDMI 2.1 ports. Yamaha has one that's coming to the market. I think it's actually out now, the V6. HDMI 2.1 ready with a software update. We've got Denon with like $1,000 option that has, I think, 1 or 2 HDMI 2.1. So to see their top tier TV and one down from that we will be talking about in another video, having all 4 HDMI ports as HDMI 2.1, that is a huge plus, because so many TVs out there right now just have like 2 out of 4, they might have 1 out of 4, so all 4 is a breath of fresh air. HDMI CEC is here, HDCP 2.2 of course is a must. USB 3.0 we have 1, 2.0 we have 1 as well. I don't know what the voltage output is going to be on that 3.0. For those of you who have, let's say, a Chromecast Ultra or something that needs a little bit more juice, outputted from USB to fully utilize 4K. I'm hoping that's a higher spec than what we've seen in the past, because I hate plugging that thing into the wall. It's just terrible. I have too much stuff plugged into my power bar already. Optical is here. IR extender is here. VGA, definitely not. I don't know why that's even on spec lists anymore. Coax is here. It does have a built-in TV tuner. Now, what we've been waiting for is the compliance check, or the list of what the HDMI 2.1 specification has been certified to do. And these are huge. And this is something that we've been waiting for forever, and why some people ended up getting the H9Q9 of last year and were slightly disappointed, or why people opted away from that and are coming into looking at a 2021 release and delayed their purchase. So we do have VRR, or variable refresh rate. We do have VSync. We have game mode. We have auto low latency mode. We have eARC. This is all here on this HDMI 2.1, which is fantastic. I don't know what the transfer speed is as of yet, if it's going to be a slightly watered down 38 gigabit per second, if it's going to be full 40, 42, what the case may be. But given that all of those specifications are there, I am very, very hopeful that we're going to see full compliance, which is perfect. And those are all of the notes so far that I've taken on the Hisense ULED XD Dual Cell U9DG. I don't know what it's going to be named in everybody's market, but so far U9DG will be the official branding of this panel for the Canadian market. I, for one, am excited. I have been waiting for like concrete, true information on this panel for almost 2 years. I think it was 2019. They talked about this at CES. We saw a very small glimpse of it, 2020 CES, but not a lot of kind of concrete coverage. I found some leaks, some rumors, like on German websites that said it would have 132,000 local dimming zones. It looks like, again, based on the marketing material that I had the ability to witness in the Hisense press conference in 2021, which I guess was today if you're watching this after the embargo. 2 million zones is what we have, and that is breathtaking. That's fantastic. I love it. I love to see it. So that is really everything that I know. We'll update you as more news comes out on this panel. I was very fortunate to be able to see this press conference digitally, which is fantastic. So that is why we're covering this. Hopefully we'll get some more TV coverage out in the future, maybe some other brands, but so far the focus will be on the Hisense 2021 release. Just because that's what I personally know about, that's what I've been invited to, and that's what I have notations taken on. So until my next video, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Crazy Dog. You guys have been awesome, and we'll catch you all in my next one. Take care.